budgets to you, you are not aware of their budgets. But I'm in receipt of I have a letter here where you approve a lot of trainings to be conducted. You approve a lot of trainings for them, for the ministry, within their budgets. Will you say it is an oversight that you must have approved the budget without knowing? Talking about budget, Honourable Minister, I have a mutilated budget here, manually adjusted. In so many instances, where trainees per head was estimated to be 150,000, it is alleged that, Honourable Minister, you increased it to 350. All these handwritings were yours. And that was the way they submitted it to the National Assembly. When you say this is an act of direct interference in the day-to-day activities of the NSIT, Honourable Minister, in your opening speech, I don't know if I'm too fast. In your opening speech, Honourable Minister, you said that because of the past activities of NSITF, you wrote the names of those you think should be members of the new management based on your vision for the agency. But of course, when the approvals came, some of those names were not there, except of course the chairman. Will you say that your anger with them, with this management, is because your nominees were never taken from day one? My friend had asked some questions regarding employment opportunity. Will you say, Honourable Minister, as the Minister of Labour and Employment, saddled with the responsibilities of abdicating and administering justice amongst employers and employees, will you say you have been fair to other sectors of this country where employment of people by NSITF is mainly from Anambra? And when I took a cursory look, Honourable Minister, at the nominal roll, I saw about 5 Ngigis. I don't know whether it is a family name or it's a community name. Honourable Minister, you said in your opening speech that I needed to recuse myself because, according to you, I had judged. We have a letter, Honourable Minister, nominating an insurance broker that is not on the list of accredited brokers by BPP. But the letter was signed by your wife. Will you have advised her to have recused herself from signing such a letter, knowing fully well that she was doing so even though the agency in question is not treasury funded, and directing the agency to use that Star Insurance? Finally, Honourable Minister, as a politician, we all labor for this party, our own party, and apologies to my colleagues who are not from APC. We all labored, and you alluded to it that some of the management staff are also politicians. Will you say it is right, Honourable Minister, to have also castigated them in the media, damaging their reputation, rather than following the process laid down by the Secretary of the Federal Government, for you to have duly taken this action? Honourable Minister, with due apology, I also want to make this statement finally, that you are a former governor by the grace of God. You are also a former senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I also want to ask that you served the first tenure as a minister, now it's your second tenure. Oil Minister, will you say your appointment by Mr. President was based on you being a member of the party or because of your personality or because of your performance for the president at the election? Because I look at the results, I discovered that in your local government, you scored 2,202 for the president, while the PDP scored 17,000. Thank you, that's my question. Thank you.
Who are like my junior brothers, except like they say it's up to 60, I don't know.
I'm 60 plus.
So you are near my age, but I'm at least 7 years older than you, I'm sure. I'm the same age with your mentor in Lagos, Asiwaju. And I was governor with him at the same time. He was a senator, I was a senator. I'm a two-time minister, he isn't a two-time minister.
But he won all his elections very well.
No problem about that. Just like you won your own in Kogi State very well.
Yes.
And you are now the deputy governor and governor of Kogi State.
Mr. Minister, please respond.
I've responded, my friend. If you have me, I have 10 times.
I won.
I'm a Lagos boy. I'm a Lagos boy. You are just a small boy in Lagos. Look at this boy. Mushin boy. He's talking to a BI boy. I live in Victoria Island. Look at Mushin boy. From Tokyo. Yeah, Boroko, just go. I don't get time for you. Kilo share. My brother who worked in the civil service, you will not pity me. Some of us who are in the civil service, you started with spelling mistake. I correct spelling mistakes every day. Don't do so. I correct every day. Yes. Even when permanent secretaries are vetted. Ask people in my ministry, they say, oh, this organ don't send things for him. He will start correcting spelling mistake and bringing it back. I do. And so what has happened in SGF's office? You don't blame the SGF. He's a very, very busy person. You can see he's the one doing COVID. As a matter of fact, ministers have raised with the SGF that letters to us will be personally signed by him. That's what it's supposed to be. If you see the one of Chief of Staff, he signs our letters. So the spelling mistake, they have a representative here. He will carry the message back. The original is here to be cited as requested. It's here. Maybe the superimposition you are talking about is not here, which I think you are in order to appoint that with your ego eye. This is the original.
By the ingenuity of parliamentary procedures, we managed to get the original from you.
No. I just gave you the copy. I told you I have the original.
You know, in every business there's a trick.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have given us this copy.
But you can see that even the spelling mistake is in that one too. So the original doesn't remove your spelling mistake.
Foreign Minister, if I were SGF, I would not accept this permanent secretary to send that letter to you.
He's going in September. Give him benefit of the doubt. He's tired.
I'm telling you.
The man is tired.
It's the most senior permanent secretary service.
It is. GSO is number one. Number one.
He will make a mistake on a letter. Before he will sign, he will correct it. And he will send it to a cabinet minister.
I agree. I will bring it to their attention. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Okay. Secretariat.
Yes. You are cited.
Secretariat. So we'll keep this copy.
No, Honorable. We have reached an agreement. I will get you I will get you your own copy. And I will get you a copy certified. I will stamp it, certified.
We don't need certified copy.
Which one do you need now?
Oh,
This one.
we'll get this copy from the
No. I have a boss. I will get his permission. Madam Chair, can you give Secretary to give me back now? No. The photocopy is because you see, Honorable has said that they have a lot of tricks in their bank.
Honorable Minister, you provided a witness, you tendered a document.
Don't worry now.
You don't have authority to withdraw it.
I have assured you, don't worry.
No.
I'm a man of honor, don't worry, I belong here. Don't worry. Chairman.
When we've given you back the original copy, is it?
No, Chairman, I need. No, if you don't want to
this?
write that I tendered, it's fine. But give me back this. Yes.
Would it be accepted or noted by the committee that we did not see you did not present any
I told you I will present it later, but I will
to show
it to
that,
you.
Honorable Minister, the crux of this investigation is to ensure that there were procedural compliance. While we are going through your documents and documentations and presentations, the approval from the President is the only thing you have on hand. You have suspended them.
Take me for my word that before Thursday I will give you a communication on this.